Welcome back, everyone. This is Leo, and I'm with Gone with the Win, video game news and reviews. Today we're looking at Verlies 2, a new little indie game popping up on Steam today. I'm actually having a little bit of fun with this one. It took me a bit to get used to some of the mechanics. It's very simple, it's crude, but there's a lot of fun to be had in this game, so join us as we look through this stuff. Now, I don't know if these guys are not English speakers or from America, but there's some weird stuff, like the first guy you can pick, his name is Chink. That's a little racist. Not sure if they realize that. His profession is adolescent. Not sure what that is either. I have a 13-year-old son, and I don't consider him a professional adolescent. Not sure what that would mean. In any case, the story begins with you're at an age where rain the magic. Again, I don't understand. The iron and the blood, a gloomy town acquired a sinister reputation. It would shelter an old donjon, not sure what that is, which would contain a big forgotten treasure. The legend attracts many adventurers each season, but they never return. So, even though the treasure is big and forgotten, everyone remembers to come back and come looking for it. Anyway, yes, this sound happens every time I load a level. I just learned to forget about it. Not sure why. The town that you first start in, I mean, you don't have any money, so you can't really do anything in the town at first. You can talk to the people, they don't say much, but you just jump right into the first dungeon. After your first dungeon, if you survive, you will have some money and some items, hopefully, to play around with. Mouse click attacks. Your first adventurer, the professional adolescent, does not have any special powers. They would go on the lower right hand corner. You will find like baskets of food. Some of them have food, some of them have traps. I learned later on to save them and come back, because you can keep, if you notice on the top right hand corner, the mini map tells you where the food is, so you can come back and get it. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get the hang of fighting this goblin. The graphics remind me of Darkest Dungeon. It's a little bit cruder than that, but it's not true 3D. But it's got a cool, that nifty little art style that with the heavy, dark lines and colors, and it looks cartoony, but it's also, conveys this dungeon crawling experience pretty well. These bats are super annoying. I mean, if you miss and they hit you, you're paralyzed. I didn't figure this out at first, but you can block these attacks. As I first started, though, I was trying to just quickly slice the bat and not get stuck in this paralysis loop, as you can see, but sometimes it happens. Kind of drives me crazy. The bat is now vanquished. You go through a lot of health at first, and this is a rogue-like game, so I mean, there's permadeath, and you gotta manage your rations just like you would in any other roguelike, especially Darkest Dungeon. You can run back out to the town, but you will lose a ton of experience, so it really is not worth it. It's better to just stick it out and try to survive, and then stock up on supplies after. Alright, these little goblin guys, they gotta go. Now, the WASD keys move you around one cardinal direction at a time. The mini-map at the top right-hand corner tells you where you're going. Very, Legend of Zelda style. It marks accurately the items that are there in the room, so you can go back and get them or use them right away. Here's my first boss. It's called an Abductor. Slow attacks, but it hurts. As with a lot of these combat games, you have stamina. It kind of controls how many times you can slash. If you level up, you can put points in it, keep slashing a little bit longer. It helps if you get your agility up. Here I run out of health, and oh no, the laugh! It mocks me. However, the transition from game over to new game is a little strange. It kind of boots you out of the game. Yay, and you start over. So, here I am starting over. Gotta get better. I can do better than this. I mean, that was pretty sad. The gloomy town acquired a sinister reputation. Not sure why. Maybe it's because they have an old donjon. Anyway, you have to start over. You have to watch this scene every single time. And after a long journey, Chink, the racist kid, arrives at the city of Dalgel, ready to enter in the cursed dungeon. I'm ready. Yes, that sound. I love it. Well, like I said, the game is very simple to understand. Once you get to balance the mechanics, like I didn't first grasp that you can shield, you use your shield to block some damage. You still have damage that bleeds over. There is a little pattern to the movements. You have to hit them. It's not so hard to. It's not like it's reflex intensive to hit the enemies right on their targets, but you have to follow them, and you also have to learn their timings. Like the bat and the rat, they strike quicker, so you have to have that shield up a little faster. And goblins and other creatures give you a little more slashing in between. When you shield up, you will regain your stamina. So there is a little bit of a balance there that you gotta master. Alright, this time I'm going to take my time. I'm going to go a little more careful. Room to room, search everything. I'm going to try to leave food. F searches everything. There we go, got my shield up this time. As you can see, the Hornet now, there's a little more balance. It's kind of a slash and shield, slash and shield. It's a little aggravating though that you still lose so much health, because potions are pretty finite. I did it. Alright, time to go on. Drink a little health potion. A lot of these crates and stuff are just empty. Nothing in the barrel. Now, every dungeon has a boss. Every dungeon has a pickaxe, I realized. So I wasn't sure what happens at the end, but it's kind of cool. I mean, it does help you along, tells you where the pieces are in case you miss them. But on your first level, there's a whole pickaxe sitting somewhere in the dark. On the second boss, second time you go into the dungeon, the pickaxe head is in someplace else, and then the handle someplace else. And the third boss, and so on and so forth. It gets a little harder to just leave the dungeon. You also have the option of just immediately joining the second dungeon at 50% plus experience, but I mean, it's really hard to do. Alright. The abductor slams his fat, smelly belly right in your face. That's how he attacks you. Ugh. The lint. Ugh. He's an abductor. But he's here in the dungeon, not abducting people. It's alright, he's gonna die. Ugh. That exhaustion. Come on, man, we can do this. There you go. Boss defeated. And achievement. Now, in these chests, you get some equipment. A lot of times, it'll say common equipment or unidentified equipment. I found that if you take it back to town, show some people, like the priestess, what it is, or the blacksmith, they'll tell you what it is, where you can wear it. Some of them have level restrictions and so forth, but basically the bosses have the items that you need, the items that you want. Alright, let's keep exploring. The game's not perfect. I would have loved to see more balance, especially early on. In this playthrough, I decided to just keep going just to see if I could get some more experience after I beat the boss. Here I find the pickaxe in the dark, which took me 2 seconds to figure out, which is nice because they put a nice little question mark leading you back to the room. Got the pickaxe. Those are my identified items. I don't know what they do, so I kind of just have them there. Can't use them until you identify them, which is kind of strange, which means like if you really, and you should, probably head out as soon as you can, leave the dungeon, get them identified and use them since they're way better than what you start with. Chink, the racist kid, you see all his damage points and his bonuses. Right now there's nothing, he's level 0. He's not much of a professional. And I suppose, like I said, if they would have balanced it a little better, maybe make the potions a little bit more less expensive, it could have, or giving you more to start, you'd be able to, understand the mechanics of it. Maybe ease into it a little bit, and then once you're used to, going to town, buying items, fixing your armor, buying new armor, reading the stats, then maybe make potions harder to find, harder to buy. But the initial curve is pretty tough. The save game doesn't really work too well. Just a few little quirks here and there that prevent it from being really, really good. And I hope that when they release, or as they update, throughout the next few weeks, they can smooth some of these things over, because it really is a fun little game. Anyway, I decided to keep going after beating that ugly abductor, and just take my chances, see if I can gain some bonus EXP. Chests are locked. I learned later on to kind of, some of these are booby trap, but to be wary, especially leave the food. Like right there, I just left a bunch of berries. I'll get back to that. If I get hurt, instead of burning my potions, I'll head back, eat some baskets of berries, and they heal quite a bit. Here's a bandit, and he's rocking back and forth to obviously an ABBA song and attacking me right at the chorus. And he's gone. Once you get the hang of it, you get the hang of it. It gets a little easier, and it becomes more about the item management and the skill management, which is cool. I mean, that's what you kind of want out of a hack and slash RPG slash roguelike. You want to be managing all these aspects at once, but it doesn't punish you, so it's not like it's a really hard hack and slash. And another bandit bites the dust. I'm pretty good at this game. No, I'm not. As you can see, I have no more potions, so if I'm not careful, I will find myself at the reboot of this game. I'm heading back through the rooms. You can see the top mini-map. I'm just trying to find some food I left behind. There we go. Gobble it up. I had no more potions. Found some equipment. And let's get back to our jungle quest. Sorry, dungeon quest. Stupid bats. I hate those bats though. They're a little harder to hit because they wiggle around so much. They don't hit for a lot of damage, but they usually end up paralyzing you a few seconds if you miss. And I understand the need to, manage and upgrade your equipment. That's why I'm sure a better shield would block the damage, but I mean, it takes away a pretty good chunk, even though you're blocking correctly. You got what you deserve. Death! I don't know why I deserve death, but I'm a fan of the game. So here I'm going to try a save game. Oh, cool. It saved right where I died. That's awesome. I guess I deserve death because I tried to load a save. Woe is me. Woe is me. Okay, I wanted to keep going, and I've already beat the first dungeon, just kind of starting over again, this time focusing on the second dungeon, so you can see what it's like to level up. I kind of like to let the enemy attack first, get used to the rhythm. This one's a 2-striker, and then shield up. Further on in the game, there's other enemies. Each dungeon has a different boss. It can stay interesting. This is the boss of the second dungeon. It is a giant worm that looks a little suspicious. Alright, so he's going to eat me, but I'm going to give him my shield as much as possible. Now, most of the bosses, they strike slow, but they hit for a lot of damage. So So no matter what, you have to have at least a couple potions with you at first. And also, since they're so gigantic, they're really not... It's really hard to miss them, which is good. I've experimented with hitting on different areas of the body. It doesn't seem to make much of a difference. Actually, none at all. Kind of missed opportunity, perhaps, there. It would have been a little keener to, you know, aim for the head or aim for a certain body part that maybe does more damage. Could have kept the combat a little more interesting, but again, I'm still having fun. Now, here's one of the things that I did not understand. Some of these skills do not seem to work as advertised. Like this heavy strike, I tested it out. I put a point in it. This is a violent attack that does more damage. When I use it, it does do a little more damage. It does not. It seems to just kill your stamina, though. It says that it will reduce your HP. Didn't understand that, but it doesn't. It seems like it reduces your stamina. Vampirism says that it will, you know, give you HP at the cost of your HP or of your mana, which I wasn't sure what that meant. And I wasn't sure if it meant you're absorbing your own HP, you're losing your mana, or using your mana to absorb their HP. It was kind of badly written. The other one is Vindictive here, and the Art of Fighting. It says that it will heal you 2 HP plus 2 each level every 0.5 seconds. It will increase, you know, your health a small amount. So it seems like a must-have, especially in this constant potion managing game. But when I used it, I didn't see my health regaining out of combat. It was too hard to tell if I was gaining health in combat. It was one of those things where I kind of wish, you know, they spent a little more time, refined it, made it more obvious to the user what effect these abilities have. Now, in my first dungeon, I was able to get some equipment, and they were common equipment, but they're better than what I have. So I'm putting it on now, and as you can see, my stats are actually changing. Chink, sadly, is still racist, but, you know, we're going to work with what we have. And changing out my shoes. Equipment does get damaged. You can take it to the blacksmith. When it's damaged, you pretty much have nothing on you. No armor, no damage deflection. It just goes to waste. Be nice if you could maybe repair things on the fly. I didn't see a skill that does that, unless I missed it. But again, it adds to the difficulty of the game, the challenge of it, of when to go back, when to, you know, call it quits, take the EXP lost and just start over, or when to keep going. Again, those little aspects, even though the game's a little crude, a little rough around the edges, I enjoyed. Here's another snake. Like that creepy little, just, there's not much music really, it's just that creepy little howling, or sometimes there's chanting with the bosses, letting you know that something bad's gonna happen right around the corner. You just never know. Alright, here I'm hunting down the question mark. I was a little taken back because they split it up. They split the pickaxes into 2 pieces, and I didn't even notice it, so there it is in the ground, just a tiny little wooden stick. It's very hard to spot, so you can almost say, hey, it's a point-and-click adventure. Alright, so I head out. I got 1 mana potion, 1 health potion. I don't have a whole lot of gold. But I'm going to head back into town, talk to this fat guy. It looks like he's... Actually, I've seen this guy. He's for sure at the Renaissance Fair every year. Sold some things. It actually says dismantle. I don't think I got any more gold. And I'm going to repair my armor. I want to survive. Also, in the this press release, so might not be the official build. I was not able to escape and save anywhere, so that might be something that's patched or fixed by the time it ships out. Or if not, it will be fixed after. You can tell that the developers, you know, they love their game and put a lot of detail into the items and stats, and wanted to challenge players, again, I can't reiterate it enough. I just wish that it was a little more smooth. Alright, the Alchemist. You can't really... That's all the gold that I made, plus after fixing my armor, I really only had enough to buy 4 more potions. So, got no mana, just 4 health potions, and I'm back in the dungeon trying to, you know, do it again. As you can see with the heavy swing, it does make a huge difference. I mean, I killed a rat in pretty much 2 swings, but I'm also, for some reason, missing more, even though I'm pretty sure I'm hitting it. I play at WXGA resolutions 2560 x 1600, so sometimes the little crosshair is hard to see at a resolution this high, and I can't really change it, so it's another little quirk. I hope gets maybe changed, a hardware cursor or something bigger. And my stamina becomes an issue now. I've already gone through 3 potions fighting this bat, and I'm constantly exhausted. So the heavy swing has a major detriment, which I was not aware of, and will cause me to eventually replay this game. So what is Verlies 2? It's a simple hack and slash. It is an RPG, it is a dungeon crawler, it is a roguelike, and it is a lot of fun. I hope everybody gives it a chance. It's got flaws, considerable flaws. It needs some polish. It's not maybe Darkest Dungeon or some of the more popular roguelikes, but it's fun. And I hope that you enjoyed not only this gameplay video, but their game. They'll be for sale on Steam, as I mentioned today, and we will be covering other games soon. We're back on track. Our video production studios was damaged in a recent storm that hit Florida, but we're back in action, recording, and we'll have some more videos, some more reviews coming up soon, some more gameplay walkthroughs. So visit us at www.GoneWithTheWin.com. Come check out our news and articles, features, and reviews. See you soon. Thanks.